TEDx, where to start from. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. How are you doing on Friday? Happy Friday. Friday 13. Some people have this kind of belief that Friday 13 is an unlucky day. If you're one of those, then think this is actually in your mind. There is no such thing. So everything is in our mind. But anyway, today's topic is about TEDx and where to start from, not how, but where to start from. And there will be a how as well, but let's just talk where to start from. If you are having any kind of questions or thoughts or anything in your mind, put them in the comments below, and put also hashtag live or hashtag replay, depending on if you're watching on the live or you're watching replay. And also put where you're watching it from. As you know me, I always ask where you're watching it from, because there is a surprise later on. And if you put your city or country below in the comment, I'm going to use it to show you something absolutely amazing later on. So let's see the comments very quickly. Marie saying hello. Biljana, good afternoon, Maria, as I know that you're watching it from the UK. Great. And yeah, where are you watching it from, Maria? I know you move houses. I don't know where the new house is. Okay, so let's start. Where you start if you want to do a TEDx, where on earth you're going to start from? So if you keep talking but doing nothing is going to happen. I know you know that, but I want it really to help to to remind you this. There are so many people who have been talking that they want to become TEDx speakers, they want to do it, and I've been listening this for about 2 3 years, and usually I just zip it because I only hear people speaking about it but doing nothing. So if you're one of those, it's time to start taking actions, and today live is exactly for you, to help you taking those actions. Let's just see. Maria is saying happy Friday from Japan, sending huge love back to Japan. Hello, Maria. Maria, as there are 2 Marias right now watching. Maria Shimura, I took 2 of your questions, so I'm gonna use them today, as they're really super valuable questions, and they are perfect questions for the topic what I'm doing today. So if you started your journey with writing your script, I can tell you that from experience of people who have been sharing this with me unofficially, and I'm not going to share some names, but if you start with writing the script, then what usually happens is that it takes about 2 3 years before you even apply to TEDx. So if you start with your script, you're about 2 3 years away from your dream to become a TEDx speaker. So please don't do that mistake. Don't start with writing your script. Then another mistake what people do is that they start applying for TEDx. Well, if you directly start applying for TEDx, I'm going to surprise you. That basically means that your application is going to be weak, and you're not going to be, there's a huge possibility and probability that your application is not going to be accepted by TEDx organizers. So let me just explain why. Because when you jump directly to start with applying for TEDx, you're not going to have very essential 7 questions, which I'm going to walk you through right now. And those 7 questions are so crucial for your success, but the success as of successful application and successful TEDx later on. But let's start with the successful application. So here are the 7 steps. Step number 1 is to decide what outcome you want from TEDx. This is so important. I know it sounds like, oh, it's like, you know, everyone starts talking about this. But let me just ask you, when you apply for a job, you start with, what do I want to do, right? What do I want? What do I want to do? So this is exactly the same way how when you start doing really TEDx, the first step is to decide, What is the outcome you want from TEDx? What do you want from TEDx really? What are your expectations, right? So I'm gonna go back to comments. Good morning, Dario. There will be a lot of facts, I can tell you, like even more facts coming very, very soon. So step number 2, what I want you to do when you start your TEDx journey, and I'm going to call it journey because it is. Step number 2 is to answer the question, why do you want to do a TEDx? So finding your why is very important. I know so many people talk about it, so it's not a cliche. And I'm gonna give you an analogy. When you want a new job, right? You usually have to figure out what is your passion. Otherwise, definitely a month after you start that new job, a year after you start the new job, if that's not your passion, you're going to leave the job, you're going to start the whole process all over again, right? So instead of starting the whole process all over again, try to find your passion, which also goes for TEDx. So answering to yourself, and be honest to yourself, okay? Answering to yourself, why do you want to do a TEDx, is a very important question. Some people, there's so, like, it's the variety of the answers I've heard from this is huge. It is from people who have been doing projects, as well as I worked with doctors, and they have this huge knowledge base for what they collected with years of working as doctors with so many people, and they wanted really to share that on TEDx, all the way as a reason why, all the way to I want to become famous. Right, so it's really like the spectrum is huge here. So but you have to answer that question, and you really have to be honest with yourself when you answer it. So ready for step number 3? Put a yes or a no in the comments. Let's see if you're paying attention right now. A yes or a no. Ready for step number 3? There's always a little bit of a delay between when I'm speaking and when you're hearing and then typing and then me receiving the comments and all that. So okay, great. Step number 3 is you need to answer the question, what will you talk about, or what your topic is. Okay, so this is so important. So to help you with this question and to answer that question, I want you to write down, to fill the gaps. I want you to write down, I will talk about X, about that topic, because, and then you put your why. The why was the step before. But again, be very honest with yourself. When you answer, I will talk about that because of this, be very honest with yourself when you answer this question. Yes is saying Maria. Dario is saying you're resourceful, Biljana. Love your hearts. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm sending you so much love and energy, Dario, and to all of you watching it right now. Okay, step number 4 is another question what you need to answer. Why this topic is important now. Okay, so the reason why this is so crucial to answer this question. Sometimes people are like answering very generically. Okay, I want you to be as specific as possible. Why do you think now is the time people should know about this idea? Why do you think now is so crucial for the world to change, or whatever is your topic? So why now is part of your application process. First of all, organizers are not going to ask you specifically why now, okay, the question why now. But if you do answer that question, they're gonna take it as urgency. Okay, if you don't answer this question, what's gonna happen is this: they're gonna read your application, and if there is no such kind of urgency, they literally are gonna push your application underneath all other applications because there's no urgency. Okay, so this trick, just to add the answer of a question you have never been asked in your application form, why now, is so crucial, because literally your application will be like, oh, this topic is urgent right now. We have to have this speaker on our stage, right? This is so that's the power of answering the question, why now? And that is why I'm asking you to be as specific as possible, okay? And don't try to, like make it up. Okay, that's not gonna work. If you make it up, people will be like, nah, that sounds like fake. Okay, so be there as the most honest to you. Okay, and if there is no such kind of urgency, okay, then what I want you to do is to say, in your application, to say something like, I know many people don't believe this is urgent right now, but I believe that in 2 years' time, this is going to be crucial for people's lives, or for the planet, or for whatever is your topic. Okay, so you got the idea, right? So put a yes or no if it's clear, or you want me to go through that question, because it's really important. Maria saying this is bringing so many memories, and definitely did work. Yes, Maria is already a TEDx speaker. Thank you for watching it. But she went through that process, and as you can see, this is absolutely working. Now, step number 5, there is another question I want you to answer. Again, super critical, is who is your audience? Okay, so please don't say everyone. Like every time when I say everyone, I have like, okay, please don't give me like standard answer. Okay, with the job analogy, when someone is asking you what job do you want to do, if you answer anything, what are you gonna get? Nothing. Like, of course, nothing. You're gonna have some kind of job, and some kind of, I don't know, happiness after this fulfillment, and feeling like really on the right place at the right time with the right people. Okay, it's exactly the same. So when you answer who is your audience, please be as specific as possible. My audience are, I don't know, doctors. My audience are business people. My audience are people with suicidal thoughts. My audience are startups. My audience, I'm totally shooting on the air, right? But you got the point, right? So put a yes or a no, again, if this is clear or you want me to explain. But the audience, the moment when you call out, it could be by profession, could be by age. You can say like, my audience 25 plus years old, or you might say like, my audience are teenagers. And if even when one of my clients, Jackie, I'm going to call out your name. This is Jacqueline Campbell. When she was applying, basically, she specifically says, my audience are teenagers with suicidal thoughts, right? It's so specific, teenagers and kids. I think she actually make it even bigger to say like teenagers, kids from 6+ years old, and teenagers. This is how she formulated the audience. But when you're ready with your audience and you answer that question, I want you to call out your audience in your application form, because this is so crucial. Whoever is reading your application form, the moment when they read that part of one sentence, they will be like, oh my God, this speaker really knows who they're talking to. So the reason number 1 to call out your audience, to know your audience, is to call it out in your application form. The second reason why it's so important is because it's gonna help you after this to write your script. Okay, when you write your script, you have to use the language of your audience, exact language what people you're talking to are using on a daily basis, right? That's why by answering that step number 5 and answering who is your audience, that is going to serve you the whole TEDx journey after this. Because trust me, the third, I'm not going to write it down here, but the third reason why you really have to be super specific for your audience is because the moment when your TEDx is about to be published, now you're going to be, I know I'm jumping right now, but it's so important to explain it right now. The moment when it's time to diffuse your TED Talk and to spread it around the world, by knowing your audience so well, you will know how to create your message on social media, first of all, because of your audience. And you're going to also know which platforms to use. And you know what language you're going to use for on the social media messages. You understand how important this decision on audience is, right? So Michael Thomas is saying great topic and food thought. Thank you so much, Michael. Chris is saying great to see you, Biljana. Chris, I so hope that you're well. I do follow you on LinkedIn and everything is happening. And Chris, thank you so much for everything what you do for all the refugees right now in Ukraine. It has been, it's just amazing what you do and what you and your wife are doing and your whole organization. For all of you, please connect to each other right now as you see who is commenting. So please follow each other. It's like the people who are right now watching are absolutely amazing. Every one of you is just amazing and brilliant person, and what each of you does is like, I don't know, it's huge. And I have to be honest with you, like you guys always inspire me to keep going and to coach people how to do TEDx, because I know this is a way how I can help you to spread your message around the world. But what you do is so important. So please keep doing it. Okay, so let's go back to TEDx. Step number 6 is to answer another question. And the question this time is what your audience are going to get out as a takeaway from your talk. Okay, so now let me just explain what takeaway is. Takeaway is one short sentence. Sometimes organizers are going to ask you, what is that takeaway? They might not call it takeaway. They might call it like wisdom. They might call it, I don't know, like short, any kind of, names. I can't think right now of something else, but majority of the time they call it a takeaway. So think about that takeaway, put it in a one short sentence, try to make it like as snappy as possible. So you're not looking for like something like catching, like like something ultra super memorable. You're looking for something which is like really the essence of your wisdom. Okay, because by answering that question, what is your takeaway, what is the takeaway for that audience, what you explain in the first part of that sentence, this is where you actually add the second part of the same sentence is like, and they're going to remember it's like, my audience I don't know, business owners and startups, and they're going to learn, boom, one short sentence. Okay, so this is how it, like, this way you're making your application form super powerful. Like whoever is now reading is like, I know who she's talking about or he's talking about. I know how it's important right now, but now, oh my God, I know what they're going to learn. Okay, so even you're not asked what is that takeaway, then still do give the answer in the application form. I'm going to stop for a second to see. Yes, Chris is putting his LinkedIn link. Thank you so much, Chris. That is very appreciated. And please do follow him. Yes. So step number 7 is to answer the next question is, why are you passionate about that topic? So now you need to link what you're going to speak on stage with you. So what makes you an expert, what make you so special to speak about that, and what make you so passionate about that topic. Okay, so sometimes we have people who are not specialists, and Maria, if you don't mind, I'm going to use you as an example. Maria lives in Japan, and she wants to get on TEDx stage and speak about the amount of suicides happening in Japan. If you didn't know, there are like 55 people. 55 people dying from suicide at the moment. I was about to say committing suicide, but that's not allowed anymore. So 55 people every day in Japan are dying from suicide. And when I heard the statistics, automatically my brain was like, what is the population of Japan? How many years we've got before we even lose the whole nation? Okay, so that's how important it is. Now, Maria is an amazing, amazing person. She's not a doctor. She's not like a statistics person, but she cares about the topic. Okay, she's passionate about this topic. And that is what makes Maria the person to stand on stage and actually tell those statistics and explain a lot more about the Japanese culture and what's going on right now in Japan. So even you don't feel, the reason why I'm giving you that as example, if you don't feel like a super specialist in that topic you're speaking about, this is the place where you're gonna plug in why you're so passionate about that. Okay. Of course, if you're a specialist, just go ahead and do it. It's unbelievable. So Chris Lamas, keep going. Thank you so much, my dear. So steps 1 to 7 is part actually of your application process. They're the base of your whole TEDx journey, but they're also the part of your application process. And that's why I gave you in that specific order, because this is how when you start filling in the applications, this is what you're going to do. So again, you're not going to start with writing your script. You're not going to start directly applying to TEDx. You're going to start with those 7 questions what I just gave you, because by answering the most honest way, by answering each of those 7 questions, you're helping yourself with the application process first, and then with the whole TEDx journey as writing the script and preparing and then diffusing the whole TEDx video to the world, right? So of course, step 7 is to apply for TEDx. Now, what I want to do right now is to answer 2 super important questions, because they're often very confusing for people, sadly, and I want to make it very clear you know, to make the distinguish between TED and TEDx, and to not apply to the one you don't want. Right? There's no right and wrong, but sometimes, a lot of the time, people apply to not the right one, the one what they wanted. Okay, Michael is saying these are incredible tips. Thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate your feedback and your words. Now, the first question I was saying, it comes from Maria Shimura. She's part of my Patreon community. If you didn't subscribe for my Patreon community, I'm going to put the link right in a second. So let's just go through the questions first. Maria says, I've been wanting to apply for TEDx, not TED. I thought applying from the below link, I'm going to show you the link, and I'm going to share my screen in a second. I thought applying from the below link through TED would eventually connect me to local TEDx, but I guess that's not the case. That is correct. It's not the case. So let's just, I'm going to share my screen right now. And I want to really show you how everything works between TED and TEDx, and so you don't get confused. First of all, TED is the big conference which happens once a year. This year was 10th to 14th of April, so it's already gone. And once a year, it's 5 days conference. That's the biggest stage, basically. And by the way, is the most credible stage in the world, and the most expensive as well. I mean, the ticket starts with $5,000. Then the next level is $10,000, and it's really quite a lot of money to get, but then you're enjoying 5 days conference, right? Now, what is so specific about TED is that the flagship TED conference is about 50 speakers. So they have several stages, and it's amazing, right? But you've got 50 people odd, like plus minus 10 people, right? But the whole world is applying for 50 places, okay? So the way how apply for TED, and this is where people make a big mistake. They come to TED.com, they go to participate, they click on nominate, And what they can see is that they can click on nominate a speaker. And if you read all the information, it's going to say that you can apply yourself or you can nominate someone else. Totally feel free to do that for yourself or to someone else. So this is the speaker nomination form, and this is the TED speaker nomination form. And again, look at this. Part of the questions, what I always say, like you have to answer them, is like, share your biography. That's of course. What is the unique idea they want to share on a TED Talk? In a few sentences, please describe the core of the talk idea and what makes the talk idea new. Okay, so now think about the 7 questions I gave you. Plug them here because this is so important. And then it says in 1 sentence, what is the key takeaway that you want the audience to know or feel after hearing this talk? So there's a lot of questions after this. I'm going to stop here, but this form is to only apply for TEDx. So to answer the question from Maria, let me just see that. Do you? Oh no, you don't see my screen. Oh, damn it. Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to share the screen. Yeah, I can see that. It's sadly. Okay, so I'm gonna just explain it instead of showing it. When you go to www.ted.com, I want you to click on participate and then click on nominate. Okay, so this is how you apply for TED. Okay, but that's not going to take you to apply for TEDx. So to answer to Maria's question, if you apply directly from TED.com, is not gonna distribute it to the local TEDx events around you. Okay, what you need to do is to go to TED.com, www.ted.com, then click on attend, then click on TEDx events, and from TEDx events, you're going to type Japan, in your case, Maria, and you're going to see every single TEDx event happening around you. Each of those is a hyperlink, so you're going to see who organized them. Like you can see contact details, you can see a lot of information there. This is how you find your local TEDx organizer around you and around your country. So there is no rule that you have to apply for your local TEDx depending on your residency. Okay, that goes for cities and for countries. If you decide to, I don't know, in your case, to go to Thailand or to China or somewhere else, totally feel free to do it, because as long as the TEDx organizer accepts you and you're fine to travel nowadays, totally go for it. Okay, that goes for people from UK, because I can see that there are people from UK, and that goes for Ingo as well. Good morning, Ingo from Toronto. Ingo, feel free to apply in Toronto, into to all cities around Canada and as well as America, as this is close, right? But if you want, go and apply for South Africa. Totally no rule and no limitation there. Okay. So what's going to happen is that each of those TEDx organizers are going to have their own websites. So the goal here is to find their websites and to apply for each of them individually. And I always give that apply to at least 10 organizers, because 10 means that you're going to have much bigger, chance to be accepted. And of course, if you are accepted to 2 stages or 3 stages, are you going to say no? Or you're going to go to be a 3 times TEDx speaker in 2022? I mean, of course, you're going to say yes to all of them, right? So there is no lost, of course. There is one comment saying, Ingo is saying, yay, absolutely yay. 3 times speaker in 2022, why not? Another question what Marie is sending, in my Patreon community is, if I want to speak at TEDx, do I need to look at for TEDx events locally and abroad and nominate myself for each event? Yes, I actually answered that one as well. So to summarize it, there is no rule that is going to limit you which country you want to apply to, and you have to be locally just for your city, right? So of course you're going to start with TEDx events around you, because that's much easier to go, like next street, then next city, and then the next country, right? And yes, you nominate yourself most of the time. Very rarely for TEDx you're allowed to nominate someone else. That is rare, absolutely rare. So do have that in mind as I'm speaking about the TEDx community. Please do go and check my TEDx TEDx Patreon community. I launched it earlier this week. Actually, Marie is already part of the Patreon community. That's why she got all these questions, what I picked, and I'm answering today. To go to my Patreon community and check out, I put so many I don't know, like perks and gifts and lives and live Q&As, and it's just absolutely unbelievable. I love that the way how the Patreon community now is coming together. But go to patreon.com/Biljana, check out what I offer there. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And I also specifically created the Patreon community for those who are already TEDx speakers as well, and those who wants to become a TEDx speaker but they cannot afford a coach, as this is too expensive, or like when you convert the money in their local currency, it just comes to quite like a fortune. So Patreon community is exactly the place where you've got access to me. I can answer all questions, but you also have access to my video trainings, and that's one of the perks. That's why I was like, go and check it out. Okay, so just to finish today, because we've got quite a few more steps to finish. I know that I said this is how to start your TEDx journey, okay? But I want you just to finish the whole TEDx journey, just to show you what is next. Because the first 8 steps all the way to applying to TEDx is indeed the start, okay? Step number 9 is actually part of the design phase, and it's to start writing and designing your script while you are applying. So don't wait. I would say don't wait till you're accepted on TEDx. Start putting like thoughts and ideas, and when you're in the shower and you have these brilliant ideas, just write them down and add them into your script. So start writing the script the moment when you start your application process. This is your step 9. Step 10 is part of the deliver process. So when you start delivering, you start with practicing, and then practicing means to literally speak it out loud, to learn your script so well by heart that it's not going to sound like you talking like a robot and reading from somewhere, but it's going to sound like you're having the time of your life. when you're performing your script, is like, yes, baby, I'm in full flow, in full power, in absolutely the best of me. This is what you should aim from your practice. And one thing what always people completely underestimate or completely not doing it is they don't prepare for their day. This is part of your step 10. Prepare for the day, because this is a networking event. You have to prepare like what you're going to wear, how you're going to look, it's not just how you're going to sound. You have to stand out visually as well. Step 11 is to still deliver phase. So of course you're going to get on stage and perform in full power, baby, right? Step 12 is the next phase in the TEDx journey, which is diffuse phase. And in the diffuse, you need to add YouTube hacks to your TEDx video, to your future TEDx video, okay? So the moment when you get on stage, you deliver it. Now the next step actually, and again, this is underestimated, it's like overlooked, people don't do it. I can tell you only 1% of the TEDx speaker are doing this step. So if you do that step to add YouTube hacks are hashtags, tags, the file name, the topic, the keywords in your description. All this, like I have completely separate videos and teaching around the 7 YouTube hacks. So I'm not going to go through them, but this is so crucial, because the moment when that YouTube video is out, that TEDx video is out on YouTube and 50 odd platforms, right? YouTube, 2.3 billion users, the biggest video platform, is going to pick that data. What are the 7 YouTube hacks? It's going to be like, oh my God, that video has so much data. Let me just spread it around the whole audience and keywords. That's why keywords are so important. Let's just get these keywords and spread that video to 2.3 billion people. Let's see who is interested in that, in those keywords. Step number 13. There's one comment. I'm going to come back to you in a second. Step number 13 is the diffuse phase in the TEDx journey, and is to apply social media strategies to spread your video to as many people as possible in the first 48 hours. First 48 hours are super crucial. I've got 2 more steps to go through. Let me just go through the comments. Marie saying absolutely all the time, as much as you can every day. That is about practicing. I bet that is about practicing. As I'm opening the comments much later. If you think that this video is really useful, please like it. Please share it with all the people you know that they always dream to become TEDx speaker. Please subscribe to my channel, either LinkedIn or YouTube, depending on which one you're watching it. Click hit the bell button, so you're going to get notified when I go live with lives like this. So 2 more steps. Let's just go through them. Step 14, diffuse phase, is the last phase of the TEDx journey. But when you're diffusing, not just the first 48 hours are super important for your successful thousands of views TEDx video, but it's so important for the first week after it was published to keep pushing on social media and all your networks and all the channels the message that you did the TED Talk. The reason why is because if you share a message, like if you sometimes let's just check this, put a yes or a no if this is for you. When sometimes people send you a message on let's say WhatsApp or Messenger, how many hours after this you read the message, right? Just sometimes just put how many hours after this you read the message. Sometimes it's like a day, or even 2 days, or even 3 days after this when you read the message. WhatsApp not that much, but Messenger most probably, depending which one you're most active. But sometimes it's like 2-3 hours, right? And we read the message, put a yes or a no if you do that. When we read the message and someone is asking us to do something, are you doing it right now? No. Most probably the answer would be no, because whoever is asking you for something, right now you're in a meeting, right now you're doing something else, right now you have lunch, I don't know, right now you're having something else. And most probably you're going to act on that message much later on, okay? That's why it's so important the whole week after your TED Talk has been published to be super active and to reiterate the message that you did the TED Talk. And it's so crucial for that TED Talk to go viral on YouTube, and therefore for that person to take an action and watch it and share it and like it and comment on it, right? And the last step is step number 15, which is for the whole month. Now, I'm not saying that for a whole month, every day, you're going to talk on social media about your TED Talk. That's not the case, okay? You can talk about your TEDx every day in a very gentle way, without like, watch my TED Talk. That should not be part of your strategy. Your strategy should be like in a very intelligent, very settled way to talk about your TEDx talk, with a call to action to go and watch my TED Talk. But every day for 7 days, it's going to be a very intelligent message, okay? But then for a whole month after this, like another 3 weeks after the first week, this is completely different strategies now, like, right? And there is like set of strategies here, what you're going to do, because at least 1 or twice a week, you're going to talk about a topic, not your TED Talk. You're going to talk about a topic which is relating to your TED Talk. So the call call to action will be watch my TED talk, but you're going to talk about this topic. You're going to give more value. You're going to give a lot more insights and information and serve the people. So when they read the whole post or video, if you're doing, and when they get to the call to action, they'll be like, I have to watch that TED talk, right? So this is in general the goal of all the strategies for a month after your TEDx has been published. Okay, so let's just go through the comments. Marie saying yes. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you, every one of you watching today, podcast live. Again, please like this video, share it on your wall. It's going to help to spread around the world. And again, I'm going to just put it, go and check out the Patreon community, as I know that it's going to be absolutely mind-blowing for a lot of people to join and to get access to me anytime. I'm not talking 24/7. Let's just make sure, like, I'm talking about like 10 hours every day to have the access to me, to ask any kind of questions, so you can prepare in the best possible way for your TEDx talk, and then of course make it viral on social media. Because at the end of the day, you want to do a TEDx because you've got a message. You want that message to be spread around the world and people to know about that message. And if there are not thousands of people watching your message, then sadly it wasn't like that successful, I would say. But that's my KPI, that's my key performance indicator, and like how I decide what exactly was or wasn't successful. Thank you so much. I'm sending you a lot of love and a lot of energy wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. Please keep sharing it. I'm going to see you next Friday. Have an amazing, amazing weekend, everyone. Sending you a lot of love and energy.